Hello learners, you're welcome to study session 13. Today we shall be talking about some common errors of Nigerian ESL users. By ESL users, I mean those who use English as a second language. So we are going to be on the lookout for some of the errors that are identifiable in the English usage of second language users of English. It's going to be an interesting session, and it is an opportunity for you to take a look at the way you use English and some of the possible errors that you may have been committing knowingly or unknowingly. At the end of study session 13, you should be able to comment on the use of English in Nigeria. You should also be able to identify and analyze different types of errors in English usage by some second language users of English in Nigeria. Most students experience some challenges with regards to the use of English in Nigeria, maybe because the language is not one of the indigenous languages in Nigeria. Remember that we have to learn the English language in addition to our mother tongue. You have a language that is your mother tongue, and then you have to come to school to consciously learn the English language. There are people who have diverse challenges in diverse areas of English usage. Those who find themselves deficient in the language, they have been found to be very unhappy about their plight. I've met a lot of people who are not happy because they are not able to attain proficiency in the use of English. These kind of people therefore look for means of improving on their performance. So this session provides opportunity for you as a student to examine your ability in the English language vis-a-vis the various distorted samples gathered in different communicative contexts by Nigerians. And it's an opportunity for you to be exposed to the correct samples that will be supplied in each identified case in this session. Now, there are certain identified errors that are common in the expressions of second language users of English in Nigeria. And I have observed that these errors occur, among students. In fact, I have observed a lot of them in my interactions with students over the years. Some of these errors that I have observed are highlighted here in this study session for discussion. So I would implore you to carefully go through the list of errors for you to be able to identify your own area of challenge and pay close attention to the correct versions of each identified case. Now, without wasting time, we take a look at some of these errors that I have identified in the English usage of second language users of English. Number one is wrong reflection of tense. The tense tells us the time of an action, the time that an action takes place. And you could have the present tense, the past tense, and other forms, arising from these two major tenses, the present, the past. Then we have the future tense and all of that. Now, take a look at the example on the board. Did you went there yesterday? Did you go there yesterday? Sometimes some of these errors are pleasant to the head. That is, when you say them, or you hear someone say them, you tend to think that some expressions that are wrong are correct because they are simply sweet sounding. And that's why you need to be very careful. It's not about the way an expression sounds. It is about whether the expression obeys correctly the rules of grammar. Did you went there yesterday? Did is already a past tense, and the word went is another past tense, where did is an auxiliary verb and went is a lexical verb, a main verb that is meaningful on its own, and is the past tense of go. Now, because you have the tense reflected on did already, indicating a past form, there's no need for you to reflect the tense on the lexical verb. The main verb went is not appropriate there. You have to adopt the present tense form of that verb so that you end up with did you go there yesterday? Did you go there yesterday? So it's not right for you to reflect tense, to double reflect tense when you use expressions this way. So you say, did you go there yesterday? I've heard a lot of people say daddy has went out, mommy has went out, and the way they say it, sometimes they tend to say it in a fashionable manner. and you are carried away. You think this person is speaking the correct form of English. Wrong reflection of tense. There are other examples you're going to find out, come across in the GNS 101 course material. Another one that will interest you under wrong reflection of tense that you're going to find in the course material is the use of the word burst, B-U-R-S-T. A lot of people say she bursted into laughter. In a case where you use such expression, it means you have broken the rule of grammar, the rule of tense, because that word burst does not have ed added to it. It doesn't exist as bursted. So whether in the present or in the past, it is the same burst. So if you say, we were talking yesterday and she bursted into laughter. Oh God, that's bad. That's really bad. So it is very important for you to get familiar with English words and get familiar with the way they are used as their acceptable forms. And of course, you'll be well guided if you have a copy of the English dictionary. That will help you a lot more. Now, remember not to reflect tense 2 times in a sentence. Did you go there yesterday? Not did you went there yesterday. Now, another one is misuse of prepositions. Prepositions are sometimes very challenging to handle. For most people that I have come across, most students, they find it difficult. Sometimes they say, which one is correct? I live in Lagos, I live at Lagos. The boy is, I am at work, I am in my place of work. Some people are just confused about the use of preposition. We have discussed some of this in your GNS 101 course material. Please visit that and try to find solution to some of the problems you may be encountering in the use of prepositions. But here is an example for you. Sometimes when you use prepositions, we have cases of wrong insertions. That is, using prepositions where they are not expected to be used. When you say to whom are you referring to, that's tautological. The to at the beginning of the expression is sufficient. To whom are you referring? Or you say, whom are you referring to? There is a school of thought that says that you should not end sentences in formal context, in formal writing. You are not expected to end sentences with a preposition, but this is controversial because there are cases in which this is not possible. You just must end with a preposition. But that notwithstanding, it is not appropriate for you to repeat the preposition to at the beginning. That you have inserted at the beginning. It is wrong for you to repeat the preposition that you have inserted at the beginning and to repeat that at the end of the sentence. So to whom are you referring to is tautological. You are repeating that preposition and it's not necessary. So it is right to say to whom are you referring. Also, under the misuse of prepositions, there are cases of omission. A situation in which you completely leave out the preposition that you're supposed to use. This is very common. We have a lot of examples in the GNS 101 course material. The surgeon operated the patient. That's incorrect. The surgeon operated on the patient, because the first one seems to look as if the patient is a machine and then you operate a machine. But in this case, the surgeon performed an operation on the patient. He worked on the patient. So the second one is more appropriate. The surgeon operated on the patient. Then we have cases of error of choice of selection. You have picked a particular preposition, but that particular preposition that you picked is not appropriate in that context. So I call it error of choice or choice of selection. Now, I am to be at a meeting by 11 o'clock. I am to be at a meeting at 11 o'clock. Now, I am to be at a meeting by 11 o'clock could also be very ambiguous. The appropriate preposition to use is at. I am to be at a meeting at 11 o'clock. Again, I would want you to go through the GNS 101 course materials for further examples and explanations on these usages. Now we have a double reflection of same subject. That is another problem that we have come to identify in terms of common errors in the use of English by some Nigerian users. We have the case of double reflection of same subject. in a sentence. Most people often reflect the subject twice and then side by side in a sentence in the following ways. They say, me, I don't know anything about it. Me, I don't know anything about it. And that is incorrect. What you're supposed to say is, I don't know anything about it. Because me and I are same. It is just that I is the form that is accepted as a subject in a sentence. Except in the pidgin English. Me no know the person we do am. You see, that's in pidgin. But in formal grammar, in formal English usage, you say, I don't know the person who did it. Not me, I don't know. And that is common. A lot of students say this to one another, and then they put that in writing. Me, I can't say. Me, I can't say. You only need I can't say, and not me, I can't say. Now, other examples that I have, taken from conversations all around me. They are bad. We are good. She knows, and he knows too. You don't need to repeat this. You don't need to repeat the subject. She knows. One she is enough. But when you say she knows, and they are bad, it doesn't make it makes you to end up speaking English the wrong way. Then we have another error that I have identified, using nouns as verbs. Some people use nouns as verbs, and this is not acceptable. A very common word, a word that is very common in the English usage of undergraduates is the word gist. The word gist. Maybe you have also been using that word more regularly. Some people say, come and gist me about the party. Come and gist me. Come, let us gist. That word gist, it will shock you. That word gist is not a verb. It is a noun. It is not an action word. It's not an action word. It's not a word that says you should carry out an action, like sweep or sing or smile. That's a verb. The word gist is a noun. And so when you say, come and gist me, that is bad. That's unacceptable. Okay? Now, another word that you can use, or some other words that you can use in place of the word gist, is fact, details, yes. So let's pick the word fact. If I say, give me the fact, that is, give me the essential points that I need to know about the event. Give me the facts of the matter. Now, if I say, come and fact me, how does that sound to you? Come and fact me. So when you say, come and gist me, it's the same way too. You're saying, come and fact me. And fact is not a verb. It's not an action word. It's a noun. So instead of saying, come and fact me, you say, come and give me the facts of the matter. So the right way to use the word gist is, come and give me the gist, or please let me have the gist of the party, or whatever it is you want to say. So be careful not to use nouns as verbs. There are other examples that will interest you in the GNS 101 course materials. Then we have another one, which is the misuse of conjunctions. I also picked this from what I hear all around me. Some people say, these are lost and found items. An item is lost and at the same time is found. Is that possible? I think that item was once lost but now found. But now that same item is lost and found. And then maybe in some schools, in some establishments, you see they put some items there and they say lost and found items. If they are lost, and can an item be lost and at the same time be found? That's an impossible situation. So the right thing to say is these are lost but found items. That is, they were once lost and now they are found. There are other examples in the GNS 101 course materials. Another case of error that I have identified is the wrong plural forms of words. Look at that word jewelry. It doesn't exist with the high ES that most people use it with. They say, oh, she has a lot of jewelries. She has many jewelries. That's not right. That word is jewelry. It's already a collection of trinkets, earrings, chains, everything put together. So we call that jewelry. Also, we identify the error that has to do with using stative verbs as dynamic verbs. There are certain verbs that are stative. Those verbs do not, cannot attract ing. The use of the ing form with them. So that is, you can't use them in a progressive form. That's why they are stative, they are not dynamic. The dynamic verbs can be used with any form of the verb to be. You can use them with any form of the verb to be, and they can attract the ing form. But when it comes to stative verbs, this is not permitted. So now, take a look at the expression on the screen. I am hearing you. I am hearing you. You know, when you pick your phone and someone is talking to you at the other end, you say, hello, hello. Yes, speak on, I am hearing you. Speak on. That sounds like a direct translation from the Yoruba language. You know, directly you have transported that into the English language. Now, take a look at the verb hear. To hear is to be able to get what someone is saying, to be able to access what someone is saying using your hearing faculty. Now, look at the action of hear. To say you hear is that you can get what this person is saying, you can hear properly, you can get what this person is saying. That action is not supposed to be a progressive one, because there is a faculty in the, you know, a member of our body that is responsible for that is responsible for hearing. And so when you say I am hearing, you make it sound as if the action of getting to listen to some people talk, for you to be able to hear what they are saying, you make it sound as if that action is a progressive one. And then it's okay, I am hearing. As if your ear switches on and switches off at intervals. As if something is wrong with the ear. I mean your ear now, your E-A-R, ear. Something is wrong with the ear. And so it switches on and switches off. So when it switches on, then you are hearing, according to you. And when it switches off, you are no longer hearing. The ability to hear, you see, it's either you can hear or you cannot hear. It involves ability. So instead of saying I am hearing you, you say I can hear you. Or you rather say I am listening to you. But most people say I am hearing you when they intend to say I am listening to you. So if you're talking about hearing, you are questioning the ability of your ear to be able to, you know, hear what the other person is saying. So it's not about questioning the ability of a person in terms of his or her ability to hear or not to hear what the other person is saying. So it is not right to say I am hearing you. The right thing to say is I am listening to you. And if it is about wanting to know whether the other person at the other end can get what you are saying, then you say I can hear you, not I am hearing you. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Please, let's take a look at what we have in the GNS 101 course materials. Then you'll be able to get exposed to other examples in this category. But I like to talk about this one because it's common among young people. The use of the word love. A lot of boys tell a lot of girls, I love you. Yes, and some say, oh, I am loving you. I don't know, I am loving you. I am loved, because you feel that every day you love her, and every day she loves you, and every day you love each other. So I am loving you. And I'll say, okay, I'm also loving you. But the action, love, is a stative one. It's either you love or you hate. It's not a procedural action that is supposed to be progressive. Because you cannot love and hate at the same time. So it's either you love or you hate. So when you say I am loving you, again, you make it sound as if you love at the time, you hate, you love at the time, you hate. And that the action of loving comes on and comes off, comes on, you know, and off. Whereas it is a stative verb. You either love or you hate. I love you, that's all. That takes care of everything. But also you need to be careful about the kind of love you manifest at some, level or stage of your life. Now we move to the other one, misappropriated meanings. Misappropriated meanings. There are some words whose meanings and usage are confused by users. Let's take a look at this. I was fixing my hair at the salon when you called. And then the second one, I was fixing my hair at the salon when you called. There's a difference between the word saloon and the word salon. While the first one is a brand of car, a type of car, you know. The second one is a place where you can have your hair dressed, decorated, fixed, and made to look beautiful. So don't say you are going to visit the salon when you are actually going to visit the salon. And don't say you bought a salon car when you actually bought a saloon car. So let's be very careful with this usage. Then we have other forms, other forms of errors, like some people use self-formed words. These are words you can't find in the dictionary of English. And you wonder how they come to be, who created them, who invented them. And before you know it, everybody all around you seems to be at home with those words, and they are using the word. You look for them in the dictionary, they are not there. And so I have categorized them as self-formed words. There are certain words that do not exist in English. You have to be very careful. One of them is the word practicalize. There's nothing like that. You should practicalize the act of public speaking. Oh, no! There's nothing like that. The right thing to say is practice. You should practice the act of public speaking. In British English, the spelling of the word practice is P-R-A-C-T-I-S-E when it is a verb. And when it is a noun in British English, it is P-R-A-C-T-I-C-E. In American English, the word practice is spelled the same way, either as a verb or as a noun. It is spelled P-R-A-C-T-I-C-E in both its noun and verb forms. Now, there is no word like practicalize. Yes, we have words like formalize, organize, actualize, but we don't have practicalize. And people tend to use the word formation processes that are, available for certain words. They tend to transfer that, to the creation of some other words where such would not have been acceptable. This is just one of them, and you have to be very careful. They are self-formed words. The same thing is what I have found out about the word plumpy. Plumpy. They say plumpy. There is a Y. Oh, yes, we have the word plum. You see, someone is plump, P-L-U-M-P, that is robust, robust, not exactly fat, but at least robust. And then you say, oh, she's plump. And somebody says, no, she's plumpy. How did we come to add the Y to that word? You can't find that word in the dictionary. The word you're going to find in the dictionary is P-L-U-M-P and not P-L-U-M-P-Y. So the question is, who created that word? These are what I call self-formed words. Now you have to also take a look at your own inventory of words, the words that you use in your interaction with your colleagues, with your friends, in your place, anywhere you find yourself. Try to see if you have created some words, and then you can send me such words to us so that we can include it in this list. Now we have misuse of phrasal verbs. There are some verbs, phrasal verbs, that is verbs that would occur with some words automatically. They have to occur with some words like stand in for me, stand in for me, give up, and so on. Now, take a look at the example I have on the screen. My pen fell down. My pen fell down. Yes, people fall down, but can your pen fall down? Your pen can only drop. But here you have my pen fell down, as if it is an action. The pen, it's a very big thing that must fall. Oh, my pen, that's again, that's why I call it some common errors in the English expressions of Nigerian users of English. You see, if you take a look at the Yoruba expression, Bairo mi jabo, I'm sorry for those who may not understand, Bairo mi jabo. The expression my pen fell down is a direct translation of Bairo mi jabo, okay? But then Bairo mi shubu, take a look at that. My pen fell down. There's a difference between falling down and dropping. And that's why also when you are in a car that is moving, you are in a car that is moving, in motion, and then you tell the driver, hello driver, I want to drop. That's a problem, because the act of dropping is not something you are going to do consciously. And that's why they use the expression somebody dropped dead. That's why they use the expression somebody dropped dead. So be careful. When you say my pen fell down, that is rather incorrect. You say my pen dropped. When a car is moving and you say you want to drop, that's rather bad, because it's going to end in tragedy. It means that you are falling off that car as the car is moving. But when you say I want to alight, okay, that's a conscious and a deliberate effort to get off the vehicle. So there's an agreement between you and the driver that you are ready to get off, and so you say I want to alight. Now there are other examples of the misuse of phrasal verbs in the course materials for communication in English. Now let's talk about some spelling errors too, which are common in the English usage of second language users of English in Nigeria. We have errors that have to do with letters that are either single or double. Look at the word harass and then compare that with the word embarrass. In embarrass, we have EMBARRASS. Take note of RR and take note of SS. Now in the word harass, we have HARASS. We don't have HARRASS. We have HARASS, the single R. So there's a possibility for you to transfer the features that we have in the spelling of embarrass to the word harass because they sound almost the same. No. This is not supposed to be, and that's why I said you need the dictionary to help you. You need the dictionary to help you clear possible confusion, cases of confusion. Yes, another error is the inclusion of words from indigenous languages in formal settings. You know, you were at the conference yesterday, Abi. That one is common here and there. Shebi, you know, I wasn't there when she came. I don't like any problem. Oh, that resounding O at the end of the expression. It's not part of English usage. I don't want any problem. Oh, you were at the conference yesterday, Abi. Or you know, more informal forms are those I have heard about around me. People from some parts of Nigeria bring this expression into their use of the English language. Take a look at the expression far. You went there far. And then you begin to wonder, that far, is it part of, is it an English expression? And some people are so used to these indigenous forms. Please don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong in speaking your indigenous language. There's nothing wrong in my speaking, my indigenous language. There's nothing wrong. It's our culture and we have to celebrate it. But whenever we want to speak English, let's make sure we are speaking English. And whenever we want to speak, we have chosen to speak our own indigenous language, let's not muddle things up. Let's pick the acceptable forms. And that's why we have a lot of people, a lot of students today, young people all around us who are being referred to by some scholars as members of two communities and citizens of none. There are people you can't speak English and at the same time you can't speak your mother tongue. You're just dilly-dallying here and there. It's not too good. So when you mix up things, that's what we call code mixing, code mixing. You mix codes from the Yoruba language, for instance, with codes in the English language. That is going to end up in unacceptable forms. So beware of Shebi, your name is Olu. Abi, I didn't tell you. I don't want any problem. Oh, let's beware of those forms. Now, there are some errors that are phonological. We have phonological errors. There are some that pronounce the sound as f. And so they say, she's very beautiful. She's very beautiful. Yes, some people may have some problems, natural, maybe because of the setting of their teeth. Maybe there is gap somewhere, and you are not able to pronounce. But then you have to learn to overcome that. They have some idiosyncratic features that are peculiar to them, and because of that, they cannot pronounce certain sounds correctly in English. Well, if you are going to be a very good user of English, you have to learn to overcome these deficiencies, and constant practice will help you overcome them. Then we have errors resulting from slips. Errors resulting from slips. Have you collected your certificate? Is it certificate or certificate? That's slip. But some people don't even know that they pick it from some other people and then they start to use it. Certificate or certificate. Which one? Certificate. We have homophonic, what I call homophonic confusion. There are some errors that arise from the pronunciation of words which sound alike or almost alike. They are not the same. There are some situations in which these words are not pronounced the same way, but they are pronounced almost the same way. So I have put such errors under homophonic confusion. Take a look at the following. I like to whet my appetite with a glass of orange juice. And that word is not wet, as in, sprinkling water on something to get it wet. That word is W-H-E-T. Many people are not familiar with this. You can pick a dictionary of English and check to see the difference between W-E-T and W-H-E-T. They are not the same. We have errors of reduplication. Errors of reduplication. Our forefathers advised us. When you say something twice, our forefathers, when you could have said our forefathers advised us, our forefathers advised us to be careful. Our forefathers. Okay, there is supposed to be there is supposed to be the E there. Our forefathers. It's supposed to be the he there. Then we have misuse of adjectives. The man is my senior brother. Senior brother. That word senior is a noun. The man is my senior. Okay, it's a noun. But you say the man is my senior brother, junior brother. The man is my junior. The man is my senior. Okay, but you can say the man is my elder brother or something else, but not you can say he's my senior brother. Sorry, he's my senior, not my senior brother. The man is my senior. The man is my junior. It was my junior in school, not the man is my junior brother. So that's a misuse there. Then we have omission of S in nouns. You say congratulations on the safe delivery of your baby. No, there should be an S. Congratulations on the safe delivery of your baby. Compliments of the season, and so on. Then we also have wrong use of pronouns. They said you should come, where they represents only one elderly person. It is wrong for you to say they said you should come. That's again another direct translation from maybe the Yoruba language. He or she said you should come, but people, because they want to respect the elderly ones, they say, oh, they are calling you, and the they there is standing for just one person who is an elderly person. So yes, it doesn't mean that you are not respectful when you say he is calling you. It doesn't mean you are not respectful. So you have to be very careful also not to break the rules of English grammar and usage when you employ English in your day-to-day communication. Then we have inappropriate use of the expressions of request. Good day, ma. Please, I want to sign my forms. Good day, ma. I want to sign my forms. That's telling us your intention. Or good day, ma. Can you sign my forms for me? You are asking, you are interrogating the person who is to sign the form. Or good day, ma. I want to have my forms signed. That's correct. Good day, ma. Please, I want to have my forms signed. Or good day, ma. Could you please sign my forms? That's better. Some of the expressions that you use when you have polite request do not actually make you sound the way you should sound. Sometimes those expressions make you even sound more impolite, so you need to be very careful. Now, misuse of possessives and demonstratives. We have demonstratives, this, these, that, those, as you can see on the screen, and then we have the possessives, my, your, their, our, and so on. You don't say these are my, this your brother is handsome, or that your sister is very beautiful. You can't use that and your together. That is a demonstrative, and your is a possessive. So when you now use a demonstrative and a possessive element together, they co-occur side by side. That your sister is very beautiful, then that is an unacceptable form. The right thing to say is that sister of yours is very beautiful. That brother of yours is very handsome. But that your pen is wonderful. That pen of yours is wonderful. Okay. Well, we have taken out time to talk about some of the errors that we can find in the use of English by second language users in Nigeria. And I'm sure that you have learned that the English language plays a significant role in Nigerian life. You have also learned that certain errors are common in the English usage of some Nigerians, and some of these errors could result from the influence of the user's mother tongue on the English language. It is hoped that this session has been able to help you so much, and then you can then say that you are able to overcome some of the challenges that you may encounter in your use of English. And this is the reason that the course Communication in English is a very important one for you. So we have come to the end of this study session, and it has been a wonderful time. Thank you for listening. I wish that you would continue to use English in more acceptable forms. Thank you and bye.